Well, good evening, everybody, and I am excited to continue on with our Master Series training. I hope that you had the opportunity to be on last week's call where Mark Briggs told you what this business is all about and what your focus should be. And if you didn't have a chance to go back and look at that, please do. It's full of valuable information, stuff that you absolutely want to be a part of. And if you are a brand new coach and this is your first week of being on here, welcome to the team. Welcome to the call, and you're a great person to sit here and learn from tonight. But please go back into the files section of the Elite Stronghold Facebook page and find the recorded calls, get on the link, and watch the last 4 weeks of training. It's something that you absolutely don't want to miss. But as far as announcements and everything like that, team announcements, guys, you can go into the back office. You can go up in the top right-hand corner where it says news and breaking news or whatever, and you can go and find out everything that you need to know there. The only thing that I want to make sure that I announce is that you are on these calls every Monday night at 8 p.m. Central, because this is, you're learning from the master. And how often do you have the opportunity to get to learn from millionaires, learn what they're doing, how to do it so that you can be one too. And tonight I'm super excited to have our special guest that you can see here on the screen with me. You know, she's someone who is very near and dear to our family. She is my wife's BFF, someone, you know, who knows way too much about me, I'm sure, and about my family in general. Stephanie has been part of our lives for the better part of what I'd say, 20 years, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Was one of our neighbors when we built our first house. But what's been great with Stephanie is not only was she a friend and actually part of the family before all this, before Team Beachbody, but she has been able to join us with this, and we've been able to enjoy success together. And that's really the best part of what this business provides. But I'm going to embarrass her for a little bit here real quick, because I know she is one of the most humble people that you'll ever meet. But let me kind of tell you a bit about her to let you know how special it is that we have her here on this call tonight. First of all, Stephanie is a successful coach in her own right. She is one of my personally sponsored coaches. I'm extremely proud of her. She pushes me to be better. But she is a 10-star diamond in her first business center, a 7-star diamond in her second, and a 1-star diamond in her third. She is not stopping now. She's probably going to be like 72-star combined diamond in the next 6 months or something like that. Who knows? But you know, she's doing it the right way. She's been in Success Club for 74 months straight. Yes, I said that. 74 months straight. She's been an elite coach 6 times. She was top coach back in 2009. She also, you know, puts her heart out there for everybody to know, and does a lot for other people. So therefore, she was the Humanitarian of the Year for Team Beachbody in 2012. And most importantly, she is a present parent. She is there for her 2 boys, 2 teenagers. Yes, we know a handful. She's there with her 16-year-old boy and her 14-year-old boys, and is an integral part of their life, and has been married for 18 years to her fantastic husband, Jeffrey. And, you know, she's doing all this while building this very successful business, and that's why she's doing it. But I want to welcome her to this call and say I'm excited to learn from her as she tells you the 2 things that you have to have in order to be able to experience the success that she has. So Stephanie, thank you so much for being with us here tonight.
Thank you, Robert. I really, really appreciate it. That's super embarrassing to say all those words about me, but I do appreciate it. You know, it would not have happened without you and Melissa asking me the second time to become a coach. The first time you asked, I said no. And then the second time, I thought, well, why not? You know, I get to work with my best friend, get to get healthy. If I make like $100, like that would be good, right? Right. So I'm very, very grateful. It's totally changed our lives. And just by you asking the second time, it totally changed my life. And that's what's so cool about this business is, you know, sometimes we give up on people. We're like, oh, you know, they wouldn't want to do that. We prejudge or whatever. And when you ask someone, even the second time, third time, you waited for 7 years. I have coaches that waited for 7 years and now like 5-star diamonds. You know, if you ask, you could change someone's life so dramatically. And sometimes I don't understand why we get scared about asking people, because we have like this amazing power to change your life. And sometimes we just forget, that it's so impactful. So anyway, I want to kind of talk to you guys today about building your business with confidence and consistency. Well, sorry, let me back that up. Building a consistent business with confidence is my title. And I want to tell you a little bit about me. Robert kind of shared some numbers. I've been a coach for over 3,300 days. I have 20,215 coaches in my downline. I've drank Shakeology for at least over 2,500 days. I've had probably over 2,500 workouts. I've had countless numbers of canceled coaches. I have had over 10 drop diamonds. I have countless no's, but I also have seven six-figure earners in my business, personally sponsored. I have 12, at least 12, maybe more now, Star Diamond coaches. So of my coaches, at least 12 are Star Diamonds. And so, but that's great and all. But it started with me on March 27th, 2007, just me, no one else. And my first check wasn't until April 15th, and I made $19.44, but Robert told me I was going to make money. So I believed him. And my next check was not until May 20th. And so it was like a month later, 5 weeks later or something. And that was $19.44. So it took me a little while, but I believed in it. And so in my first business center to date, I've made $2,346,200 in my first business center. My second business center is approaching $1 million, and it will be there and just really soon. So that's crazy. Over the past 9 years, it's totally changed my life. But I want to talk about confidence first. Then we're going to talk about consistency, because those are two things that I feel like are my strong suits. Those are things that have gotten me where I am to get today. And first off, it was my mindset. When Robert and Melissa asked me to join their team, it was like, okay, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to make sure that I treat it as a business, right? Because I could have easily gone into it thinking like, I was going to give discounts to my family or friends or whatever. I mean, my family, yes, maybe, but friends, I'm just going to give them discounts or whatever. No, I decided right from the beginning, I was going to make this a business. And I also had a confidence because I saw Robert's transformation. He had an amazing transformation. So I knew that the products worked. I had a belief, and that created confidence because I saw Robert's and then my transformation and other people's transformation. And that gave me confidence that this business was going to work. But I also got knocked down a lot of times and back again. One of the stories I love sharing is that I had a phone burner where Robert gave me leads, and he gave me 2,500 leads, and I got a phone burner and I called all 2,500 people, and I didn't have one sale or one coach sign up from that. And that would be really easy just to give up at that point, right? But I had confidence that this business was going to work. I saw Robert and Melissa have success. I saw them earning money. I saw Robert quit his job within 10 months. I saw, them move to Texas. I saw their banking, what they were earning. And I was like, I know it's going to happen for me. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I know it's going to happen. And so I had confidence. And I had confidence when family members said that I was in a pyramid scheme. And they did. And I remember crying and saying, I'm not in a pyramid scheme. And then later on, loaning that same family member $10,000. I also, I treated it like business. I had a sticker on my car. I had business cards. Like I was in business. And it was on my mind every single day. And I was moving forward. Once you have belief, you will be confident. And I knew deep down it would work. I had no doubt. And I had, deep conviction, even when people were negative in my life. And I saw it work for others. So I knew it would work for me. And so that was my confidence. No one can take away your story from Beachbody. That's something I always tell people. No one can say, no, you didn't lose weight. No, Shakeology doesn't help you have more energy. No, Robert doesn't financially, help, Beachbody hasn't financially helped Robert. Yes, it has. Like, you can't deny that, right? So I have confidence that this will work for me because I've seen it happen for others. Not just people up on stage, but like people that I know that I can touch. I can, I know those people. And so I know that it can work, right? So, but so that's kind of where I am. And now we're going to kind of I'm going to share a little story with you that you've probably heard before. And it is called The Tortoise and the Hare. And so there once was a speedy hare who bragged about how fast he could run. Tired of hearing him boast, slow and steady, the tortoise challenged him to a race. All the animals in the forest gathered to watch. Hare ran down the road for a while, and then he paused to rest. He looked back at Slow and Steady and cried out, "How do you expect to win the race when you're walking along at your slow, slow pace?" Hare stretched himself out along the road and fell asleep, thinking there's plenty of time to relax. So Slow and Steady walked and walked. He never, ever stopped until he came to the finish line. The animals who were watching him cheered so loudly for Tortoise that they woke up Hare. Hare stretched and yawned and began to run again, but it was too late. Tortoise was over the line. After that, Hare always reminded himself, don't brag about your lightning pace, for Slow and Steady wins the race. That kind of describes my business and how I decided to grow my business. We had decided as a family that I was going to stay home with my kids. That was going to be my number one priority, is taking care of my kids. And so even though I knew this business was going to work, I knew that I needed to keep it in line with our priorities as a family. And so but I also knew that I had to be consistent, because in order to be successful in this business, you have to be consistent. And so I wanted to be home with my kids, and that was my number one priority. And I knew I was going to get to the finish line, even if it was going slow and steady. So Steady's definition is, here, let me give it out to you. Steady's definition is regular, even, and continuous in development, frequency, or intensity. So let me say that again. Steady's definition is regular, even, and continuous in development, frequency, or intensity. So I figured out what steady looked like for our family. I spent my time away from my family wisely. Like, I knew I was going to have to be away for some events and stuff, so I treated that wisely. And I had measurable goals. And that's something that you have to be consistent. So let's talk a little bit about measurable goals. So what are your measurable goals? Let's start with your goals and then go confidently after them. So for me, let's talk about, one of my goals is always elite. And that's one of my goals, is elite. And so I have to figure out what that looks like for a measurable goal for me. So if you're a diamond coach on this call or higher, what that would mean is for you to sign up 2 to 4 new coaches a month. And more if you're if you're higher than diamond, that's probably about right. If you're just diamond, you probably have to sign up a little bit more than that. But 2 to 4 coaches each month. You also have to hit Success Club each month. And then you have to have 4 to 6 PS coaches that signed up last year, this year hit Success Club. So I know in my mind, those are my measurable goals every single month. Here's the problem. If I just do that 2 months, and then skip out 2 months, I'm not going to get elite. So I know that I have to consistently do that every single month. Otherwise, if I don't, then it's going to be much harder for me to get to elite. Now, if your goal is not diamond, and your goal is, elite, and maybe it's just to get to diamond, I always tell my coaches to have this goal: 2 to 4 coaches every single month, hit Success Club, and help 2 to 4 coaches that you've signed up have at least 1 Success Club point. Okay? So you have to figure out what your measurable goals are. Now, I'm not saying that, my goal was not 15-star diamond every month. I knew I wanted to be in this for the marathon. Like I wanted to be this for the long haul. So I had to figure out what my monthly measurable goals were going to be. Okay. So that's basically how I did that. You know, I love The Power of Threes by Amy Reed. If you go to YouTube, you can look at her. She also has it where you can print those out. That's a consistent thing for me. I've also done, I'm a pen and paper person, so sometimes I just write out all my finds and shares, and I set a weekly goal for how many people I need to find and share. Now, those are old school terms, so invite, friend, you know, making new friends and inviting to your challenge group or to coaching. So you want to friend them, you want to form them, and then you want to invite them. And those are non-negotiables in my life, because guess what? Life is going to happen. It does. Crazy things happen. My dad's been sick, you know, has brain cancer. We moved to Colorado. We have crazy kids. They're really busy. Like, life happens. And I know that you probably, those people on the call probably even have worse things going on in their life and harder things and harder obstacles. It's going to happen. So you have to set in stone what you're going to do each month to achieve your goals. It's just like your non-negotiables. And I know a lot of successful coaches, they have those non-negotiables, and that's why they're successful. You know, when I'm consistent with these behaviors, I can feel it. And when I'm not, I really feel it. So like, I wouldn't necessarily, so if I'm not really consistent with my finds and shares this month, I may not feel it this month, but I'm going to feel it next month. Like, next month's going to be the month that I'm like hurting, and then worse the next month, right? Because it's kind of that compound effect. And so I know that when I also know that when I create that consistency, I don't feel that burnout, you know, because I'm not like trying to kill myself. And then, because what I see people do is they kill themselves and then they take a break, and then they kill themselves and they take a break. And what happened is just exhausting, right? And that's basically what the hair did. You know, I've had, you know, a lot of my share of ups and downs for sure, but I feel like, you know, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Now, some of you want to quit your job in like 6 months. And so you'll have to, you know, step up what the power of threes looks like. It may be a power of 10s, power of 20s, power of 30s every single day. And you just need to make sure that that aligns with your family goals, that your family's on board and they know, like, you have a goal of quitting your job or whatever, you know. And so you'll probably, okay, I heard this story about, okay, the tortoise and the hare. I heard this story about another animal. What if there was another animal in the race, like say gazelle, right? And they had the, you know, the steadiness of the turtle, but they had the speed of the hare. Like, wouldn't that be like awesome? So that animal would smoke both of them, right? So if you have a goal of, you want to quit your job, you have like higher, bigger goals, then you're going to need to step it up. You're going to need to be the gazelle that has the steadfastness and the speed. And so, you know, your business will not grow if you aren't consistent. And that doesn't mean, like, you can't, consistent doesn't mean like, okay, I'm going to be Hit Success Club every month and my business will grow. Unfortunately, Success Club is kind of like your bare minimum. Like, because hitting Success Club is just maintaining, not necessarily growing. And so that's something that we kind of have this I hit Success Club every month. Well, that doesn't really grow your business. What grows your business is hitting more than Success Club and then recruiting and then teaching your coaches to do that. So let's go back to confidence a little bit. The hare seemed really confident. You know, he was going to win. He was fast. He had skills. You know, he had got this. Then he took a nap, right? And he stopped. And that kind of sounds like the people on my team who are like, I want to be your next diamond. And if anyone had that before, like, I want to be your next diamond. And then crickets. Like, they come out with a yay, just rocking it, going for it. And then you, like, don't hear from them. Well, you know, I think if they stop the biz, like, they can't catch up as easily. So when they do, you know, stop, then when they try to start back up, it's really frustrating because they have lost the momentum of building that business. And so, you know, it's kind of like, you know, priming that pump again. You know, but the tortoise was, I feel like, was confident too, but like in a different way. Like he had a plan. He knew he was going to get there, right? So I want to ask you, where is your confidence? You know, are you the hare who talks a big game but doesn't do the work? Are you the, you know, do you waste your time scrolling through Facebook and, you know, refreshing your email and spending hours creating the perfect post, right? Or are you the tortoise? Are you doing the unglamorous job, which is so glamorous, of finding more people? And it starts with your belief system. Do you truly believe that products work? We talked about that. You know, I saw Robert, so I totally believed that it was going to work. And I've seen other people that it's worked for them. And, you know, like we talked about, you know, your story should give you confidence. No one can take that away. And then the last part of confidence is personal development. And I feel like that's really, really important for you to be able to have the fear of rejection. You know, do you have the fear of rejection? You know, of course you do. Well, there's a book for that. There's a podcast on how to talk to people. There is a seminar on how to manage your time. There's an audiobook on how to talk to people or how to find people, right? You know, if you don't know how to find people on social media, there's a ton of YouTube videos for that, right? So you have to be resourceful and find things that you're struggling with. You know, when people started asking me like, Stephanie, you need to lead. I mean, I really just wanted this business to play with my friend Melissa, right? I mean, I really, let's face it. I mean, just wanted to have a business and play and go to parties. And then my coaches were like, you need to lead, Stephanie, and we, you know, sign up to be with you and you need to lead. And I'm like, oh, I didn't have that confidence to lead, right? I had the confidence that I knew this business was going to work, but I didn't have the confidence that I could lead a team. I mean, no way. And so I had to do personal development, and then I had to pour myself into that to be, you know, the leader that I was asked to be. So I also want to say that you have to go into this like a marriage, like that you're going to be around for a long time. If you go into your marriage, like Robert and I have been married for, y'all been married for 18 years. We've almost been married for 18 years. Now, if I got into my marriage saying, you know what, I'm going to go into this marriage, but, you know, we're probably going to get a divorce. You know, I mean, let's face it, marriage is tough, and, you know, that's always my scapegoat, right? Well, you're probably going to get divorced, right? I mean, like, I went into marriage saying that it's like not an option to get divorced. It's just not. We're stuck. He's stuck with me. Haha. You know, so that's how this business was. Like, I felt like I was stuck in this business. I didn't want to be those people that like started and stopped different businesses or quit or whatever. I wanted to be the person that stuck with it. And I didn't care how it was going to happen. I knew I had to be consistent. I was confident in the business. And so I had to make it happen. And I knew, you know, that I wasn't going to quit. So I, you know, sometimes maybe I faked it until I made it, you know, and I failed a lot, and it's okay. You know, it's made me more confident, you know, because I've overcome things. You know, I'm like nothing special. I'm just a girl that was Robert and Melissa's neighbor that just decided to, you know, join this business, and I chose to be like a tortoise who wanted to be slow and steady, and it's obviously paid off. And so I just wanted to finish the race, and so that's basically it.
Well, you know, it's awesome as I took 4 pages of notes, and I'm going to go back in and fill in even some of the areas that I missed. But well, and guys, I hope you've done the same thing. And if you've missed it, go back and listen to it, because there are gems here, you know, just so much. And I love the tortoise and the hare, and then, you know, correlating that to, you know, heck, if you got to be a gazelle, be a gazelle. You know, those type of things. But I think one of the things when I look back and you know, one of the most proud moments I can say, kind of as the Papa Bear of the team and having you as part of the team is seeing, like you said, seeing that leadership emerge, seeing you take that weight. And I remember you freaked out. You're like going, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do this. Do this. I didn't sign up to do this. I just want to have fun, and I just want to have my friends involved. And what's this leading thing? But you're like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to learn how to do it, come heck or high water. And like you said, the confidence that came from that, for saying, I am a leader. to saying, I can take charge of this. I can be the people that is the person that is out in front of these people, not pushing them from behind, but leading them from the front and doing what you want them to do. And that is why your business is so successful, because your coaching, your leaders are modeling your leadership. And that's why they're doing that. And I look back on a turning point in our business relationship, everything like that. I remember in Iowa, and you were up there, I guess, we'd gone canoeing or something like that. And, we just recently started, and we're driving up that long, twisty road to go up to our house up on the hill. And you said, you and Melissa were like, you know what? Robert, you should really do this with the team. You should really start this type of training. You should really start doing this. And I turned to you and I go, if you want to do it so bad, you do it, and kind of doing that. And at the time, you're like, forget this. I didn't sign up for this. I'm out of here. And I was like, oh crap, what did I just do? But dare I say, you've picked up that trait right now. You're in that same boat, and you're like going, do it. If you want to do it, do it. Step up. So gosh, praise the Lord, you didn't just quit and get out of bed. You got mad and said, forget that. No, I'm going to show him. But no, it's been amazing. And and Melissa and I just are always in awe of what you've been able to do, but more importantly, who you've become and how many people are better. Countless people, countless generations. It's kind of like that story of, it's a song, Dreamer went to heaven and you were there with me. And these people gather around this person at heaven saying, thank you. And it's because of you. That's why I'm here today. And that's kind of the way that I see what you've been able to do in so many people's lives, is because you reached out and you poured your heart out into people, and you haven't been afraid to engage with people in the lives you've touched. That there are going to be countless people that come up and say, thank you for what you've done. It's because of Stephanie Richardson that I'm here today, and that I was able to have my mom, that I was able to have my dad, and this goes countless generations, and it's because of what you've been able to do and the consistency that you've been able to have, and the confidence and belief that you've been able to have. And I know that we're blessed because of you, and this whole team is blessed because of you and your leadership. And I just want to say thank you. And I'm excited that you're a part of this master series and a true master in it. So, thanks so much.
Well, thank you, Robert, so much for asking me a second time. I appreciate it.
You bet. Now, guys, again, if you didn't get everything here, I highly recommend going back and watching this a second time. Write down copious notes, share this information with your team, get them to be on these calls. That's the only way that this really gets beyond you. And until next week, y'all have a fantastic week. God bless you all. We love you, and we'll see you next time. Take care.